First of all, we stopped to buy some bananas for the journey, and it was interesting to see the wide variety of fruit that they get there, including 4 or 5 different types of banana. Then we visited the fruit market, which was the major place in the area for all farmers to sell their fruit to shops and other wholesalers. We stopped to take a picture of this very Disney-fied temple, really built for tourists about 50 years ago. Then we went on to Dambulla, which has lots of cave paintings and Buddhas reclining, and also stupas and various other things.
Anti-clockwise, you will not miss anything.
Then back on the bus, and we drove to Kandy in the centre of the island.
Sri Lankan ironwood, very hard.
And this is where the real Temple of the Tooth is. Buddha's tooth, taken from his funeral pyre, is behind the tusks and that red curtain. There was an awful lot to see there.
Many statues, different religion, but all are of Buddha. When the devotees come from different Buddhist countries, they bring their own style Buddha statues and offer. Now, as an example, the first one is from Japan.
The town of Kandy has a large lake in the middle of it, and it's very different from the coastal towns. The temperature is much more comfortable. Then back to the hotel, which had a fabulous view over the town and an interesting sign warning you that monkeys could get in if you left the windows open. On the recommendation of a friend, me and one of the other people visited the Grand Hotel, which lives up to its name, and it's just palatial, and we vowed to try and get everybody to come the next day for dinner, which we did, and we stayed and had a lovely afternoon tea, although it was really more like an evening. Back on the bus the next day, and we're driving up to the tea area and also on to Little England. So incredible views, lots of hairpin bends, lots of waterfalls. We arrived at the tea plantation and were shown around much like I'd seen in India, but on a bigger scale, and we were treated to a tea tasting ceremony at the end of it. So that was quite interesting, and some of us bought some tea. Next day we were back on the bus and we drove to Nuwara Eliya, which is known as Little England because the colonials created a virtual reproduction of England there, with parks, gardens, polo fields and lots of houses built in the same style. And we stopped at the Grand Hotel there, and some of us had a wonderful afternoon tea. And the inside of the hotel was incredible. You'd think you were at St Andrews or some incredibly posh hotel. Christmas decorations were all out in force. This is just incredible. Can't believe you're in India.
Christmas smell.
Yeah, Christmas. Then back on the bus, driving down the hairpins, we found the same chap appearing in front of us at the end of each hairpin, and we realised that he'd been running down between the hairpins to try and beg money from us. And we stopped the bus and gave him some money. Then, in the afternoon, we saw some very flamboyant dancing by a set of Sri Lanka dancers. This is only a tiny bit of what we saw, with some very athletic leaps and jumps and somersaults. To finish off their display, they gave us a demonstration of fire eating and also fire walking. Don't try this at home.